Hey guys, it's APK here with a review for the Battlefield 4 multiplayer on Xbox One. For this review, I'll be hitting on the same categories I used in the last review for Ghost Multiplayer, which were mechanics, sandbox, maps, game modes, features, audio visuals, and performance. Gamers often love to discuss how realistic certain military first-person shooters are, but I can assure you that those people are more than likely referring to authenticity. The Battlefield franchise, in my opinion, is as authentic of a military shooter you are going to find, and the mechanics are the foundation of that notion. With mechanics like bullet drop, bullet trajectory times, sniper zeroing, and appreciable recoil, just to name a few, nearly every kill in Battlefield 4's multiplayer feels rewarding and legitimate. The learning curve is sensible and fair. If you have a better understanding and better control of the mechanics, you are simply going to win more engagements against players who have lesser abilities. Yes, the first few hours can be rather unforgiving to a new player, but for the players who have the drive to learn and choose to stick it out, they are rewarded in more ways than just participation XP and shiny medals, although Battlefield 4 still has those things if you're a fan of them. Nevertheless, the mechanics are near perfect, and in the same vein, so is the sandbox. The sandbox is surprisingly balanced. I've yet to encounter a weapon I feel is unfair, and that is quite the achievement for a game with as big and customizable of a sandbox as Battlefield 4's. Although the 4 classes correlate well with range capabilities, they don't force you to be a one-dimensional player. The reason being is the viability of pistol use as long as you can aim properly and know the right situations to use them in. Equally important and even more awesome are the vehicles, and although I prefer to fight on foot, I do appreciate the depth and merit of vehicles and also appreciate what they bring to the table when it comes to the Battlefield experience. As a whole, the sandbox in Battlefield 4 is just brilliant. The maps in this game range anywhere between enjoyable and outstanding, and the consistency and quality is admirable. The maps all feature multiple hotspot positions that allow infantry to get down and dirty, while having intuitive ground vehicle paths to help bridge the gap between vehicle and infantry warfare. DICE succeeded in making the maps provide drastically different experiences through respectable variation in verticality, size, and vehicle availability. No two maps in the game play similarly, and in a military shooter that's rare to come by. On a separate note, DICE put a lot of emphasis on levolution leading up to Battlefield 4's release, and despite all of the hype that was built for just this particular element, it still managed to exceed my expectations. With all of this in mind, it's hard to say that Battlefield 4's map pool is anything less than perfect. With this release, Battlefield has finally bridged the gap between large-scale warfare and small-scale warfare, with game modes like Domination, Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and the newly added Defuse. Players can get their super fast-paced action they enjoy from other titles, while also having Conquest, Rush, and Obliteration, the other addition to the game mode pool, to satisfy their massive warfare cravings. Overall, the game modes in Battlefield 4 offer a wide range of unique experiences, but one experience without representation is a game mode that doesn't take itself too seriously and is sheerly included for pure enjoyment. Halo's action set game types and Call of Duty's party modes are some that come to mind. Although this is a rather specific and picky criticism to have, it does force players to switch to different games to get that fix, but other than that, Battlefield 4's game modes are rock solid. Every category so far has been near perfect at the very least, but the features category is the first where Battlefield 4 disappoints. The standout feature is the server browser, which is a feature that nearly the rest of console shooters has yet to include. If you really enjoy playing Conquest on Operation Locker on a ranked server with hardcore settings, you can play that all day with the touch of a few buttons. The other two useful features are the spectator mode and test range, but other than that, there simply aren't any other features, which is a shame. In a series that prides itself in providing truly mind-blowing moments and experiences, the lack of a theater mode is truly puzzling. Now, although what Battlefield 4 has to offer in terms of features is fairly average and disappointing, its audio visuals continue the previous theme of near perfectionism. To put it very simply, you are not going to find a shooter with better audio than the Battlefield franchise. There are times when I crave to play Battlefield 4 just for the audio, and that is not an exaggeration. But as stunning as the audio is, the visuals are right there with it. There are moments mid-game where I have to stop and admire the level of detail some of the game's assets and textures have. The only visually unappealing element of the game is some of the pieces of rubble after destruction, but other than that, this game looks and sounds amazing. The problems with this game's performance are just so disappointing. The crashes happen way too often. The audio bugs when spawning in are just jarring. The one-shot kill bug is just endlessly frustrating. There is something terribly wrong with a AAA title when you search for a conquest game and end up in a team deathmatch game, and then get transported to the dashboard because the game crashes, and then when you try to start it up again, you are greeted with an error message. That is just utterly pathetic. But through the entire failure that is the performance of Battlefield 4, there is a silver lining. I trust a developer to fix performance issues more than I trust a developer to address balancing issues, since the former is a rather objective task while the latter is very subjective. But at the end of the day, the performance in its current state is just inexcusably bad. To wrap it all up, Battlefield 4's map pool is perfect. Its mechanics, sandbox, and audio visuals are all outstanding, its game modes excel, its features are par for the course, and its performance is just excruciating. All in all, Battlefield 4 has the potential to be a near-perfect game and could be one of the best shooters of this decade so far, but its performance truly brings it down a few points, and in its current state, I have to give the Battlefield 4's multiplayer for Xbox One a 7 out of 10. But this is all just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you agree with my review? Let me know what you have to say in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. The next review will be for Killer Instinct, so keep a lookout for that. Alright guys, this is APK, signing out.